Hi, everybody. This is Laura. How are you all this evening? I hope you're doing well uh, in this time of much controversy in the United States. Uh, well, in any event, I'm not here to talk anything about that. I'm here to talk about you and evolution and spirituality. But as you know, all of that always goes into all of everything, really. I love my job because I get to talk to you about everything. So a couple of housekeeping things, and then we'll go to the phone lines. Well, there's a focus subject as well, and then I will go to the phone lines. The first thing is there is a website for the show, spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com. And there you will find a myriad of resources, one of which is to watch me live on a video in case you want to do so. Sometimes I make a funny face. You never know what I'm going to do. Pick my nose, I will not. As well, you can make a donation on spiritmediumtv.com if you would like to jump to the top of the queue. There is no fee for this show, and that is a donation, which is voluntary and goes in part to help animals. But at times, my caller queue is very full, and I can't guarantee that I will get to everyone. I try my very best, but I can't get to everyone at times. Now, tonight it looks like we maybe not overwhelmed with callers. We'll see what happens. You never know. Right now it's not, but changes from moment to moment. In any event, you can do the 8, no wait. If you have an urgent matter that just can't wait, donate 8 and jump the gate. And you can do that on spiritmediumtv.com. So you can watch me live, you can make a donation, you can also learn a little bit about the free for me. What the heck is that? Well, if you book an appointment, a private appointment with me, you will get a third more time free. That's the equivalent of a 25% discount if you use Radio Show Key in the event code field when booking your appointment. So that's the free for me. Use Radio Show Key when you book your appointment at booklaura.com. I'm looking over to my right. It might look, I don't know how it transposes on video, but there's a funny noise in the right outside my house, as if something is happening that's not pleasant. I'll put it to you that way. I hope nothing happens. But anyway, I live in a safe place actually, so I don't expect any problems. But there was a lot of banging on a door and some yelling, so I don't know what that's all about. Yep, and there's other noises. Okay, so tonight's subject of focus is out of body experiences. Recently, I happened upon this luminary. His name is William Buhlman, Buhlman. He's been around for a while, but I just stumbled upon him. And he's an expert in the out of body experiences. He's taught them for many years and has collected a lot of wisdom from those experiences. The biggest takeaway, there's a couple of really impressive things he's learned and shares with us human folk. But one of the biggest things is, what is our purpose? Why are we here on earth? You know, why? Why are we all here? Well, we're all here to learn how to create reality rather than feel trapped by it, as in the myopic view of the Middle Ages, if you will, that life is happening to us versus we actually have an opportunity to create with universal consciousness. This is what spiritual evolution is all about. And you are not a body, you're a spiritual being. So the most important thing for you would be understanding your spirituality, how to evolve, and how to create on earth while you're here rather than being a victim. And as being a psychic, myself being a psychic, or labeled so, I'm choosing my words like this for a reason. Quite often I get asked questions from callers to the radio show. Rarely do people hire me with this kind of a question because I'm very expensive. And usually the people that I work with are extremely, they want to work with somebody who specializes in something deeper than, am I going to get this? Is this going to happen to me? Most of the people coming to me for growth on a very deep level, on a soul level. And then as they go through the growth, they understand better how to command the powers that be within themselves to create reality. Command the powers that be within themselves to create reality. And so that is what my work is all about as a medium and a spiritual mentor and psychic. And hopefully that is what your life's work will be about as you learn better how to move from victim to victorious. Now, there is an article on my website that goes into more detail on this subject. I mail it out to my subscribers. If you want to be on the in with all of that, you can simply go to spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com and join my mailing list, and then you'll get the articles. But if you just want to check it out, go to the website. You'll see it, Manifesting Mastery with Out-of-Body Experiences. Manifesting Mastery with Out-of-Body Experiences. There's some channeling in that article and some techniques to use and a little bit of history about out-of-body experiences. I'll just give you one little tidbit. As I was researching the article, I learned an interesting little tidbit. Thomas Edison, who was the inventor of electricity, he didn't invent it, but he learned how to use it, how to commandeer it, right? He was when he needed to solve problems, scientific problems, he would use this altered consciousness state. He would actually invoke it deliberately. He knew how to do it. He didn't know what it was called. All he knew was that if he went into a slightly sleepy state, but was still alert, new insights would be presented to him. That's what psychics do, by the way. That's what you do when you go to sleep at night. Sometimes you're working on problems, right? But if you can pull that divine state of dreaming into a waking state, it's similar to an out-of-body experience. So anyway, what he did was he used to put a coin on the top of his head and go into like a nap. He would be in a seated position, but try to get really, really sleepy. And then when his head would start to nod, the coin would fall off his head and wake him up a little bit so that he could work on the problem in a semi-sleep state. Quite often out-of-body experiences can happen in semi-sleep state. I didn't put in the article my own experience, but I'll just say very briefly because I don't want to talk too much. Maybe I will put it in the article. But I had a recent out-of-body experience, and I've had others, but this more recent one was so clear that I knew I was out of my body when it was happening. I was lying in a semi-sleep state. In the morning, I was not completely awake, not completely asleep, in that like kind of zone. And all of a sudden, my consciousness floated up out of my head like a periscope, looked down at myself, and then happily just drifted off into the hallway. There I went, body behind me, lying on the bed, without thinking about it, without knowing. I had no fear or anything because it really was not objective about it. I was in the moment, which, by the way, is another aspect of this. And lo and behold, in the hallway of my house, my mother, who had deceased in that very house 4 months earlier, was walking along the hallway completely alive. She didn't see me, but when I saw her, and I saw her so clearly, then I panicked and I went right back into my body. So these experiences are very real, and they can be very powerful, and they can help you live a better life and create your own conditions, create your own existence. When you learn how to create using out-of-body experiences as a way to become a better manifester. There's many other benefits, which are outlined in that article. Okay, I'm now going to go to Lynn, who is the first caller this evening. Hey, Lynn, how are you? Great, honey. So, do you have a question for Spirit this evening? Yeah, I just made a long speech on how you're a co-creator. So it's kind of hard for me. Kind of hard. Yeah, and it's funny, but I see what you're saying, and let me just see what I can do because when you understand as a psychic as I am, the way I work is uh, I still can see into your life. Don't get me wrong, and I will see into your life. And we'll see what's coming in, but we also have to understand that we're creating things. So just 1 second, please. Let me go to a deeper level for you. Oh, you're a very magical, mystical person yourself. Are you in a creative field? Are you in a creative field? Do you work with flowers? Because I feel flowers around you all the time. Uh, sure. Well, you're a very kind person, a healer personality. You are helping people now in your life's work, which you love very much. A very mystical person. When they say mystical, they mean you like to daydream a lot and see the mystery in things, and also understand being a co-creator more and more and more in your life. The the miracle mastery is extremely important to you, understanding how to create your reality on a day-to-day level in the ways that you would like. As I say all these words or they're channeled through me, I see a white curtain in a room that has a piano. The white curtain is having sun filter through it. I don't know if there's any music in your life or is there any meaning to that, but I will say I do see that. Would music have any significance, please? No. Ah. Okay. Well, then there's something to do with grandma and your future coming. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said that. But let me see. Wait, don't give the bones away here. Let's see what spirit says. So, just how does it affect Lynn, please? But you always see you. Okay, grandma's going to speak. You see the best in others all the time. Grandma's saying now it's time for the best in yourself and to create reality with. Uh, and there, she's saying something about a man in your life, with a husband in your life, that he needs to see these things too, and you need to both learn how to co-create together. Meaning that you need both of you to be cooperating and co-creating together to create the reality and the dreams that you have for each other. There is a significance to this message for you as that's what you're really looking into is a relationship that you're in right now that it would get better. Would that make sense to you, please? Oh, oh, okay, that makes sense to you. But it's more that you need to learn how to bring that person in, and how to co-create. That's interesting. So, okay, so say to you is what you're going to be doing in November is learning better how to use your your soul to create the love in your life, how to connect with yourself better so that you can draw that person in. And I'm going to see if I can with that for a second. What does she need to do? You need to open your heart more to love. You need to love yourself more, and then you will see the person will be guided into a circumstance. So, to summarize what's coming in for you in November is that you are going to be taking action to bring in somebody on a heart-centered level that is correct for you, the right kind of person for you, and that you will be spending more time meditating, more time they're using the word chanting, like as if you might be using an affirmation or something, and creativity. Um, I don't know what flowers have to do with this, but you should put, okay, they're telling me now, you should put more flowers around the home so that you have that feeling of being loved and in love, which is what flowers signify for you. You should be going out more with friends. You should not be sitting home as much as you are want to do. And you should be, just loving yourself as much as you possibly can to bring in that person. He's not going to fly in the door, you know. Grandma saying that. And also, in terms of body image, have you had some issues there, my dear, in terms of wanting to lose weight or anything there? We need to take a quick look at that. I don't want to spend all the you, which is it could happen because this issue with the body has to do with everything. Until you get corrected, you're not going to be able to bring in the love of your life unless you feel you can. But your belief system is that has to happen first. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand? Yeah. You say so. There's a catch-22, a block going on within you of I have to be well, not perfect, but you have to feel better about physical before you feel that you can pull in the mate you want. So that is blocking you. And I will take a quick look at that and what you're thinking of doing. I'm going to just ask it this way: is what Lynn's thinking of doing for her health going to help her? Yes or no? Yes, you will be taking on this new venture, which has to do with your health and getting. There's something with oxygen in your lungs, just getting more air in your lungs. That could mean moving around. Yeah, moving around, more exercise, more aerobic activity, more excitement, and getting going on your life plan, your life's work, and everything about you, everything that you like about you. As I say that, I also see you, and this is a strange thing to see as we're going into winter. But do you bike ride, or have you thought of biking in some way? Bike riding or cycle riding? That okay. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. Do the bike thing. It will get your metabolism moving. I don't know if it's really so much your thyroid as that you need to get your metabolism going, and your thyroid could even correct itself. You see what I'm saying? All right. Get a little of that going on, and I feel it also could be integral to making other things happen in your life, including bringing in a relationship. Okay. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Okay, I'm now going to go to the second caller, who is, I believe, Cece. There she is. Hello, my beautiful sacrificial lamb. Last week she called in and didn't want to take a spot away from anyone else after she was accidentally dropped. Hi, hi, hi. Cece, are you there? I was saying all this to an open line and Cece stepped away. Isn't that nice? Cece! All right, I'll come back to her. Let me go to three, the third caller. I try to enumerate callers as if I can get to them, if I get to do that before the show. Hi, Laura. How are you, darling? I'm great, love. So, what is your question for this evening, darling? Oh. So, if I were to ask the question, will your career get better than it is now? Would that be a good starting point? Like I always start with a yes or no. Okay. So let me just go to that and then it gives me information. Yeah, you're going to get much better in your career. Everything's going to be moving along smoothly. I hear something about moving up the ladder, getting a promotion, and more responsibility at work. But also a good thing about that, I don't feel you will be overwhelmed with work, which might be one of your concerns. We want to move up the ladder, but we also don't want to be swallowed up whole lives, chewed up, spit up, and thrown out. so to speak. But I feel that you will be moving up the ladder. You will take on more responsibilities, but it will be very manageable for you and very easy for you to do. Would that make sense to you, please, Laura? Oh, in a new field. Okay. Well, I guess the promotion then is from school into a job, and the job will be easy for you to do. Okay. Um, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's see what else I could get here. You don't have to move right now. You won't have to move to get the job that you're wanting, if that's the way, if that's what you were thinking. I'm getting it. You don't have to move right now. And I also hear you don't really want to move right now. It's too many changes at once anyway. And I also feel there's a male around you that would suffer from the move or somehow wouldn't be good for the other person. It feels like a male that's younger than you, like somebody dependent on you. Would you understand that, please? Okay. Do you have a relationship then? Well, I just feel that if you were to move, it would affect that, and that wouldn't be something desirable for you. Unless you're asking me, are you going to move in with that person? And if so, I need to know the question. But what I'm getting right now is you don't need to move right now, and you don't have to move. You don't need to move, and there's really no reason to move right now. If you need any more elaboration, just let me know. Do you need anything more said about that, or okay? Well, that's a funny thing because they keep saying you don't need to move right now. Let me see something. So maybe the move's not going to happen because it doesn't need to happen right now. I never throw out what's already come in. I just have to somehow sometimes reframe it if I wasn't real, if I don't have a really clear question. Sometimes I'm a little bit off. So I would say right now you don't have to move. You don't need to move, and eventually that, if you want to know if it will ever happen, probably. Oh, I know you want to move, but they're saying not in the near future, not right away. And by the way, even if you want to move, it feels like, well, that would be, I was going to say it could interrupt your career, but it'll be okay. You could move with your career. But anyway, right now, there's no need, there will not be a need to move. So he's not going to be asked to relocate right away. When will that happen? Uh, well, it's out a bit in time. I'll just say it to you like that, even though you want to move. So then you and your family, you and your husband, will have to think about whether or not you want to do something, uh, without him being transferred. But right now, I feel there's a delay in any kind of transfer, anything that has to happen. That's all I can tell you. Okay, I'll give you a quick answer on that, as I've already answered two questions. Let's see what we get. Because I only try to do one question per person, but we'll give you a quick look see on that. Yeah, that's not a problem. Imagine if I continued with you all the show, everybody mad at me. You know what I mean. All right, so bear with me for a moment. Will she pass this medical test? Yes or no? Yeah, you prepared for it well. It's going to be easy for you. I don't see any problem with that, love. Okay, love. Take. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks. Bye. Okay. I am now going to number two, which was Cece. Maybe she's back. Let's see. Cece, how you doing? Cece, are you there? I don't know what happened to Cece. She just disappeared. Okay, I'm going to go to caller three. I'm going to caller four, who is Amla. Hey, Amla, how you doing? Hi, honey. Hi. Good. What can spirit do for you this evening, honey? Oh, is that the guy that, is this a different person? The last time you, this is different? Okay. Give me the initials of him, please. Okay. Yes, I get a yes on that. If you let him in to your heart, you're pretty good at letting people into your heart, though. You're open, very open. Yeah, and you don't get fixed on one person, at least not at this stage of the game. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, he's a very creative individual. He likes you very much. He does have the same goals and aspirations for a close relationship, i.e., one on one. He's looking for the same thing you're looking for, so that's good. You should. They're saying you should scale into the relationship slowly over time. It would allow you and him to get to know each other better before any kind of ultimate or stronger commitment is made. And there's a reason for them saying that, and I need to see what it is. Give you that reason. Why is that so, please, Spirit? Because you really need to see him totally, his underbelly, from the belly up, so to speak, because he might not be, okay, he might not be what you're looking for in the long term. So Spirit wants you to take your time in getting to know him. So your question, will this develop into anything further? The answer is yes, but be aware that you need to check him out more. Yeah, he might not be who you. Okay, you're only hearing me say one thing, which is take your time with it, but something else came through, which I need to highlight a little bit, and that is that he might not be what you're looking for in the long term. Okay, they said they use the terms they, meaning Spirit, your guides. You need to check him from his underbelly up. In other words, his values, who he is as a human being, all that needs to be tested over time because you really don't know him very well, even though you've been taking your time. Get to know him better. There's been some ups and downs, and there's a reason for that. So they're warning you, basically warning you. Even it can develop, but it may not be to the someone that you want to get more. You might not find cohesion at the end of this exploration. Let's put it to you that way. Okay? Sorry what the message is. All right, love? Yeah, let's see, because they're saying, once you discover him more and probe deeply into his mind, who he is, what his values are, you may find that he's not exactly what you're looking for. Not a person, but not right for you. And that always happens. But will it develop further? That's up to you, but the potential is there. All right. All right. My pleasure, my dear. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Okay. Bye. Okay. Tonight is an interesting night. Going back to Cece again. Cece, are you there? Cece got beamed up. Oh, there you go. Oh, good. It pays for me to be loyal because I've checked your line 3 times and you weren't there. That's all right. Oh, of course. I'm sure that it was something important. Oh, wow. Okay. Not a problem. Go ahead and give me your question, darling. All right. All right. Again, reminding you and everyone else that we are always creating. So it's not happening to you in so much as you're probably co-creating with this. Let's just see. Will she be moving locally? Will she be moving at all? Let's see what Spirit says. Because maybe what you think is happening is not going to happen. Let me just see. And then we'll get all the answers. I always start with yes and no for the show in particular. When I'm one-on-one with people, it's a different kind of situation, but I start with yes and no. Let's see. Yes and no. Yes, you have to make a move now. Circumstances change in the household. You're no longer required to be there or do what you were doing before. You will be taken away into a new location, closer to your home where you were before, the place that you come from. Circumstances will be better for you there to build a new life. So, I guess you're not from Houston, or are you from? By the way, everybody, I know she's okay. You're going to be going back to where you came from, and that things are different there now, but better for you than they were before, and that there's new work for you there, and a new life for you there. And it feels like it's closer to your family of origin and friends and things like that, and that you would like it there very much. It's a cooler temperature for you, which is better for you in many ways. Not terribly cold, but cooler, and the air is less humid. It's better for you, and that it would be very good for you. Also, out of flooding and all that. It feels like it's in the Carolinas a bit, or somewhere like maybe a little inland from there. Where do you come from, honey? Oh, wow. Well, that's inland, but it's not the Carolinas. There's certainly mountains there. It's certainly drier there. Do you want to move, honey? Do you want to move there? Yeah. Yeah. And oh, well, okay. So the message was circumstances have changed where you are now, and you're no longer needed there. Did you hear that? Okay, so that means the end of a chapter of your life and the beginning of a new. And I had the that it was in the home with your marriage. So, and then going back to the place from which you came, if you can handle that, but I think it's better for your lungs, actually. Uh, it would, it's not as backwards as it used to be. In other words, there's more going, not that it ever was backwards, but there's more going on there for you. There's more to do there. It's easier to get involved with people there. And it wouldn't be so bad if only for a time, if only for a time, until you get resituated. And you don't have to stay there, but it might be a good launch pad for something new. And that you might probably have family there and all kinds of things there. So that's what they're telling me. Yeah, no, you can make up your mind. It's not going to happen to you, right? It's something you're going to decide, right? But they're giving me the message that you're no longer needed where you are, and it's time to get going on a new chapter in your life, and that you would like that very much. Be optimistic about your future. As far as Mr. Husband goes and being loyal to him, it sounds to me like you might have to make some decisions there. Maybe right, maybe loyalty is not matched on his end. We'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? No. Yeah, I understand, and I don't want you to. I don't want you to say too much because this is a public forum, and I'm not. Absolutely. All right, sweetheart. Not to worry, love. Call me after the show if you care to. Okay, darling? Thank, thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Somehow I get the feeling that call was meant to happen. Okay, I'm going to Pat, who has a life question. Hello, Pat. Hi. Hi, sweet. Oh, okay. I do, kind of. Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm so, well, I'm going to ask the question, do you really want to do comedy? I'm going to ask that question of spirit because I have because your intuition in picking that time was tuned out, not in. You know, uh, you know what I mean? It was like, I'm thinking here, these are messages coming in is why did she pick that time to have her class? It's a funny coincidence that a father of her brother would have passed away the second week of the class. And so I'm thinking to myself, you might not really want to do anything creative. You might want to avoid it right now. And there may be some reasons for that. And let me just say, not saying that yet. I need to look at it. So hold on for a second, Pat. Yeah, okay, you really do want to do something creative. Your past needs to be explored through this comedy channel, if you will, or comedy is expression for you of things that have happened in the past. You have a lot of material, or it would be good for you, it would be healing for you to get things out of your system, things that you're actually holding on to that you really don't want to hold on to anymore. And comedy is your way of kind of processing things, or uh, it's a good thing for you. And I feel that subconsciously you do want to be in a comedy class. But why, Spirit, was she blocked from completing this class then? If she really wants to be in it, why? Because that's a very unusual. I'm asking for it now, Pat. Let me just, oh, and please try to focus in on the reading right now instead of anything else, honey, so I can get a good connection with you. Hold on. Why, please? Not easy for you to open up. So the reason that you subconsciously picked the wrong time is because a part of you wants it, but another part of you doesn't. There's a part of you that likes to stay put, doesn't want to have to deal with things, nor open up. Although you have a great sense of humor, you know, you have a great way of doing this kind of work. You're very good at it. Another part of you really doesn't want to have to open up, and it's Pandora's box. So even though opening up all this, it's a lot of work, you know, comedy's like a lot of stuff has to, uh, you have to use yourself, your material, you know. It's not easy. Some of it will be about you, some of it will be about other things. And it's like Pandora's box opening up something that you really didn't want to have to deal with right now. So I would just say, let's just see something here. Should she do it then in the future? Because Spirit is saying two things. One is it's good for her, but the other one is the other thing you're saying is it's a lot of work and she's avoiding it. Should she do this? Yes or no? We'll go back to the initial question. Yes. In other words, the one we answered a long time ago for you. Yes or no? Should she do comedy? Yes or no? Yeah, you should do it. In the long run, you would love this. In the long run, you would love this, but you should be aware of the fact that you do like to avoid confronting these things. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what they're saying? Yeah, it's like looking in the mirror carefully. That's what this is all about. It's hard to do. And so part of you, subconsciously, we're psychic, all of us. And when we're in the wrong place at the wrong time, we're creating the failure for some reason, is what this is all about. So understanding that there's a little resistance in you about confronting the self, if you will, trying to slay the dragon of comedy, if you will. It's a hard thing to do. Maybe things about yourself you have to look at. Uh, that's part of the resistance here. But in the long run, it will be a great thing for you to do. And I'm going to try to align with you to try to pick a time that would be better in terms of your life and what's going on in it. Well, obviously, you don't want to start anything now right before the holidays. So let's see after the holidays. I'm seeing like February would probably be a good time for you to get started on something new. Not January, but February. And the funding will be better for that as well at that time. And so, I'm getting that it's a good thing to do. And whenever we are resisting something, even on a subconscious level, the way to make the journey more palatable or more desirable is not to ask too much of yourself, to break the work into small slices. Like, don't think that you're going to take a 4-week comedy class and then ask yourself to go up on stage and be brilliant. Cut it into little bite-sized pieces. Make it something that you're really comfortable with, and see from there. Because if it's too much of a thing that you're asking yourself to do, you may again subconsciously fall out of whack with your intuition and choose again the wrong way to do it, the wrong time to do it. I hope that this is helpful to you, Pat. Yes. And I wonder, yeah, wait for a better time. I'm getting early spring, late winter. And it's funny, I felt another side connection. I thought that you want another side connection. I felt a mother figure for you in spirit. It's because of this connection here to somebody transitioning. And maybe another time we can explore that as well and look at this from a different angle. Okay, Pat? Thank you, darling. Bye-bye. Okay, and now I'm going to go to Sharon, who does want another side connection. And by the way, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, it's funny because absolutely, my pleasure. I'm a little bit, let's just see who shows up. But when I opened Pat's line, there was a connection other side. When I opened your line, I didn't feel any connection other side. So let's just see. Pat 402. Who wants to come through for Pat? I'm sorry for Sharon. Thank you, honey. I got to get your name right if I'm going to get the right connection, right? Sharon 402. Well, somebody in spirit is saying you're a very kind person, but let's just see who we can pull in. There is a mother figure for you here in the spirit realm. She feels very frail, and mother figure can mean a myriad of things. I'm going to drill down in detail, and then we'll see if you can pick it up who this is. I feel a feeling in the legs. It would have meant some inability to get around. Her legs are she's not able to. Her mobility is challenged towards the end of her life. I do see an older woman. I see very, very white hair. I don't see a lot more than that at the moment. Let me see what I can do with this. Whoever this is has heart problems towards the end of her life. She also would have lost. Oh, now I know why I saw her. So she also looks like she would have lost teeth or had problems with her teeth also. She might have had false teeth and pulled them in and out. And she's an older woman. There's a male under her that she gives birth to. So if it's your mother or or grandmother, that person, that grandmother or mother had a son as well as perhaps other children. But I do feel a male under her that she would have given birth to. I also hear 2 children under her from this person. Whoever this soul is telling me 2 children she gave birth to. She's not coming in that clearly. Like usually I see them and they're right in my face and they're smiling at me. This is a very light feeling I have, and very light wisp of information. So I'm coming back to you now, Sharon. Would you understand this person, please, for anyone you? Yeah, I got 2 children under him. Okay. Well, she's very okay. She's also very, very slender towards the end of her life. It looks like she has mobility issues. She can't get around that easily. Um, very, very old looking, but pretty. You know, just an older. You were older than this aunt, you're saying, when she died? Oh, wow. Okay. But your grandmother looked old, lived to an older age? Okay. And did you know if your grandmother had mobility issues, that she had trouble getting around? Do you know if she, okay. Oh, okay. Do you know if she had a heart problem? I get that very strongly, like a heart attack or some pain in the chest. Well, that's something to check. Do you know if there was something else I said about her? Mobility issues, heart attack. What's the other thing I got? Something, oh, teeth. She would have had problem with her teeth and might have had false teeth or, she actually shows me. Do you know that about grandma? Oh, interesting. That you're thinking of your mother, but okay, so let me just say that I'm associating it with the older woman right now. So I don't want to jump to mom right now. And this woman lives to an advanced age. She's completely white in her hair, white in her hair. Right now she shows me her mouth sinks in, but that would suggest to me that she would have probably had a bridge that she put in and out, or that she had problems with her teeth. And she also shows me inability to get around towards the end of her life. And she does have a big problem with her heart. There's a problem with her heart, which you cannot tell me about right now. And she may very well be trying to open up the portal to your mother. But we also need to get a clear connection with one soul before we can pop to another soul. And now, this is your mom's mom, you think, or your father's mom? Okay, so there's a son, but there's only one child for her, you said, right? All right, so we got the 2 children incorrect, unless she considers your mother or her daughter, and daughter-in-law or something like that. But she gave me 2 under her. Well, we won't argue with that. Unless she had a miscarriage, then we can also say that, but you wouldn't know that probably. Um, All right, hold on. Let me just see something here. Do we want to pop to anybody else? Or are we going to stay with? I'm asking spirit. Do you want to pop to her mother, or do you want to stay with this soul? Where are we going with this, please? Okay, so this grandmother saying it was an open and shut case with your mother's health. She did not have a chance to get better at all while she was on earth. We are taking care of her now, and she loves you very much, your mother. Now, I don't know what that means, but she's saying it was like there was no way your mother could have lived or survived whatever happened. And I don't know what that is yet because she hasn't told me, but I'm going to see if I can develop that a little bit, honey, for you. Um, See what we do with this, Sharon. What do you mean about her, please? Your mother couldn't get better? Hold on. What? Shh, don't say anything because we want Grandma to tell us, okay? And Grandma was about to say from the help that she was given, it wasn't right for her. Or that's how she was saying it wasn't right for her. She wasn't able to get better. And she really, there was also a part of your mother that sort of didn't have a will to fight or didn't really want to try. Would that make sense to you, honey? Oh, okay. She's saying this about your mother, so I don't know what that's all about. Let me just see if I could pull something else in, then we'll have to end because I need to go to another person. But Grandma, do you want to talk about her mother? You want to bring the mother in? Okay. Would you understand, Sharon, anything about mom and her lungs and coughing, please? Okay. She's very light connection. Okay. But I get lungs and coughing. I get her feeling good. Oh, feeling good most of the time, not really feeling bad. Uh, in other words, I don't feel this is something that came for a long, she didn't, it came up suddenly. It wasn't something that was whole, that she had developed for. She wasn't feeling bad for many years. She was feeling good. Uh, she says, your mother is talking now. She says, you took care of her like she was your child. In other words, you did excellent care of her. You were looking out for her. I don't know if that literally means you were there in the room nursing her or what that is, but mom wants to say that she acknowledges that you were there for her and took excellent care of her, almost like you were her child. Sorry, like she was your child. You took excellent care of her. She could not get better on her own. They did put her on a respirator or something to help her breathe, but that did not help or allow her to get better. And then she transitioned. So I am just getting bits and pieces of things, honey. But it feels to me like if she were on some kind of breathing mechanism, that perhaps she could not get better and maybe needed to have a what they call that DNR, do not resuscitate. I don't know. That's just me saying that. But she said something about being not able to, that she needs something to help her breathe. With needing something to help her breathe sense to you, please? Oh, you're crying. Oh, you're crying, sweetheart. Oh, I'm so sorry, love. I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah. Okay. Well, Grandma already said that. Yeah. Grandma already said that. Um, no wonder I didn't feel a strong connection to the other side when I first contacted you, is because it's really something else. And let me just remind you that when we want advice about our life, usually we want our guides to give that to us, unless you specifically want their opinion. But I'm assuming you do, right? You specifically want mom's opinion, right? What she thinks about this. Okay, well, there is something that you do have to let go of something from the past because you won't get over the hurt that this situation has given to you. You'll never be the same again. I feel there's a betrayal there, and that you will need to. This is what mom is giving me, but also I'm getting it from you guys. You will need to get moving. Don't be afraid to let go of something that's no longer functional in your life. Does that make sense to you, please? Yeah, it feels like there's a bit, not feels, it was stated that there's a betrayal there and feels like a relationship that needs to be let go of. Would that make sense to you, please? All right. Well, don't, yeah. And so that's making you suffer a lot. You're clinging to it. Mom is saying not to cling to the past. Let me go to a vocal connection with her consciousness and give you a channeled message, and then we'll let go of this phone call, this reading. Mom, please come in a little bit clearer. She says, I'm looking out for you, darling. I'm looking out for you. She says, you need to let go of this situation. It's not feeding you any kind of nourishment, nurturing love. It's not good for you. It's toxic, actually. You're clinging to something from the past that no longer serves your highest good. It's time to let go of that and move to the future. You'll be just fine without that person. You'll be just fine without that person. I also get a name or a word. It's like MAM, something like that, like Miamades or Mamades, or it's not mommy, it's not mom. It's like an MAM name. I don't know if that makes any sense to you now, but maybe it will later. But the message is don't cling, you'll be fine. Let it go, move forward. You'll have to think about that because it sounds to me like you're not ready to let go. Hey, Sharon? Uh-huh. Okay, well, I'm getting the impression, and I'm not really, I can't go any deeper than I am right now, but I'm getting the impression it's a relationship you're in that's no longer serving your higher good. And it feels like a significant other relationship. That's what I'm getting. Does that make sense to you, honey? Ah, well, you're still clinging emotionally to it, and maybe it's because you don't know what happens. You don't have any closure. And the word betrayal was released here today. All right. Right. So you'll be able to listen. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It was a betrayal there. And it's really, mom says it's toxic. So listen to this again in the when you have a chance, put the radio show on again, listen to a repeat of this, and you'll hear the words because a lot of stuff was thrown at you, which you might be having a little problem processing and hearing all of it right now. But it has all been said. Okay? All right. Thank you, love. God bless. Bye bye. That's a rough one. Okay. Oh, we're at the end of the show. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for calling in today. Sorry it didn't take so long on that one, but I need to take care of things when they pop up, and it was my pleasure to be of service to Spirit and to Sharon. I look forward to working with you all next week on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for calling in. Namaste.